and the Conway Wampscat boys soccer team. Coach, would you come up and introduce your players? And Mr. Cullum, Jeff Cullum, the superintendent of schools, is also here. Jeff and the city of Conway have worked closely together on some things, and he's going to be a tremendous addition to Conway. And Jeff, we are glad you're with us tonight. Coach?
We appreciate you guys having us today and recognizing this accomplishment by our kids. When I announce their name, guys, just stand up and wave. First, our seniors, Logan French. He is on vacation, so he is not here today. Lake Satterfield, Caden Ashcraft, Jake Carrington, Zach Schuba, Austin Rainey, Chase Hooten, Drew Frialdenhoven, Eric Rojas, Grant Fairchild, Preston Prock, Riley Nicholson, Sam Gregg, Kylan Tatum, Clay Fisher, Cole Glover, Gage Law, Hugh Hill, Davis Mulhern, Brady Akridge, Kyler Spencer, Brady Robnett, Caden Christofic, Tucker Satterfield, Connor Cunningham, Preston Ribbing, Braden Bramlett, Will Thompson, Drake Naylor, Evan Harder, Nick Lynn, Sawyer Hartwick, Talon Bratton, Sedler Mulhern, Jackson Folds, Ty Pirtle, Griff Wagnon, Jace Tidwell, Jackson Warlow, Ty Faison, Ryan Eckert, Blake Kordsmeyer, Davis Summers, Jackson Mosley, Jackson Robnett, Leighton Coney, Max Owen, Harris Kostecki, Grayson Dumas, Caden Brewer, Thomas Ford, Malik Simpson, Carter Cunningham, and Oliver Stewart. Those are the members of our baseball team. We also had two managers, Kennedy Smith and Susanna DeBlack. And our coaches are Ryan Reed, Mitch Farrell, Grayson Pinkett, and Race Tittle.
What you guys did for Conway, I mean, you showed out and won state championship, and we are all very proud of you. But what we look at it as, when we have businesses that want to move to Conway, what do they look at? Well, they look at our health care, they look at our schools, they look at championship teams, and they realize that, hey, this is a great city. We've got a great superintendent, we've got great coaches, we've got great student athletes. And for us, a city, that's big, because you can't make people move to a city where you don't have good educators and good athletic programs. So thank you, not only for being state champions, but for turning eyes towards Conway. You'll understand that someday. So thank you all. Put my glasses on. You'll understand this too someday. And that's why I didn't kneel down out front on the front row with everybody. You will. I promise you'll understand that. Proclamation from Mayor Bart Castleberry for the 2022 Conway High School baseball team, Class 6A state champions. Whereas the 2022 Conway Wampuscats are the third baseball team from Conway to ever win a state championship. Whereas the state had a season record of 19-9 for the 2022 season. including pre-conference tournaments, season record, and state tournaments. And whereas the team consists of 2 all-state players, Austin Rainey and Hugh Hill, whereas all conference players Logan French, Austin Rainey, Tucker Satterfield, Zach Schuba, Preston Prock, and Hugh Hill. And whereas Conway all-tournament players were Austin Rainey, Hugh Hill, and Will Thompson. And whereas in the state tournament, Conway beat both Fort Smith Southside and Rogers Heritage to secure a spot, landing him in the finals of the championship game against Bentonville High School. And whereas on May 19th, 2022, at the Benton Sports Complex, Conway High School Wampuscat baseball team made history by beating the Bentonville High School baseball team with a score of 10-7, becoming state champions. And whereas Conway Wampuscat baseball coaches are Leighton Harden, Ryan Reed, Mitch Farrell, Grayson Pinkett, and Race Tittle. Now therefore, I, Bart Castleberry, Mayor of Conway, do hereby congratulate and acknowledge all the achievements of the 2022 6A state champion Conway High School Wampuscat baseball team. Sealed this day, May 24th, 2022. You guys ought to be proud. You've done this whole city proud. Thank you. And Mr. Cullen, you have another state championship team in the Conway soccer team. We hope to get them here. So, thank you. You guys have done a great job filling some big shoes, both of you. Yes, sir. Welcome to Conway. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have to stay.
Yeah, Matt said. They are.
All right.
Our travel team.
I'm going to give them just a second.
Very good, Bart.
Thank you.
You did great, man. I heard you were an athlete in high school, right?
Do what?
Somebody said you were an athlete in high school. Oh,
Tell you about it later. Well, to be honest, I could probably make the Dallas Cowboys.
Cheerleader squad.
I was trying to do that. Just won't let it
The
go.
cheerleaders.
Just won't let it go with you. Yeah. Forget what I said. You didn't do good.
No, I wasn't much of an athlete. I was not. All right, first up, we'll have our monthly financials with a report ending on April 30th, 2022. Mr. Winningham. I'm getting some feedback somewhere. Is that me?
Yeah, they are. I pop mine off and it keeps coming on.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Don't have a whole lot to point out tonight. It was another good month as far as sales tax revenue goes. We were up 21%. As mentioned at the last meeting, because we got these numbers then. Year to date, we're up about 19%. And let's see, the only other thing I really made a note of to mention is back in the airport fund, we closed out the State Department of Aeronautics grant on the maintenance hangar. So you'll see we've got state grant revenues of a little over $184,000, which really helped the bottom line for the airport. So I think we've still got the T-hangar grant, second half of it to close out and receive, and that will also help as well. The airport was looking pretty scraggly at the end of 21 from paying those costs up front, but now we're getting those grants closed out and starting to look better there. And that's all I've got, unless anybody has questions or comments.
I make a motion to approve the monthly financials.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the monthly financials. Any further discussion? Mr. Garrett.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Passes 6-0. Mr. Winningham, as long as you keep bringing sales tax numbers like that, you're welcome to come up. Next, we have the community development portion of this, and I will try to fill in for Mr. Hawkins. I'll probably have to ask James how the planning commission voted on things. First, we have consideration to approve the nomination of Esther McClellan for the A&P Commission.
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Esther McClellan for the A&P Commission. Any further discussion? Esther's done a good job on there.
She's done a great job.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is a ball of fire, does a great job. No further discussion, Mr. Garrett.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Passes 6-0. Next, we have a resolution to approve amending the compliance policy for CDBG block grant. Shawana Rogers, Ms. Rogers.
Hello.
Hello.
So we are looking to amend our policies and procedures. The city just recently updated the employee handbook, and they updated the purchasing, travel, and standards of conduct, and we are needing to be in HUD compliance, so ours will mirror the city, so we need that updated for our records.
I make a motion for adoption of the resolution.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this resolution, amending the compliance policy for CDBG block grant program. Any further discussion? Mr. Garrett.
Resolution R-2225. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes 6-0. Next up is a resolution to approve the submission of the program year 2022 action plan and budget for the CDBG block grant.
So we have received our allocations for our program year 2022 in the amount of $481,835. It's broken down with our projects. Our main project will be emergency shelter, which will be 65% of that. We did have another applicant that applied for the projects portion, which was the Conway Housing Authority. We were really excited about that particular application that we received. However, some things came up and they decided to go a different route, but we are looking forward to partnering with them in the future on some projects. So we met with her and it went really well. So that will be our project portion. Our public services will be broken down as they always are. We're doing transportation with our services, and we still have some of the similar agencies that we have funded in the past. We do have a new agency that we're looking at funding that we're really excited about, which is the Salvation Army. They have a workforce program that they're looking into, and we are excited about that. It's something that will expand our services with HUD, or expand our services, which HUD is looking for us to kind of branch outside of just doing transportation, and we have been doing that. So we're excited about that. And the other portion would be administration and 20%.
I make a motion for the adoption of the resolution.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt this resolution. Any further discussion? Mr. Garrett.
Resolution R-2226. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Passes 6-0. And council, on the next items, we need to swap items 4 and 5 on your agenda. First up will be, according to your agenda, be A5. And it's a resolution to approve the submittal of the federal aid surface transportation block grant program for Markham Street Improvements Phase 2. Robbie and Kirk Jones will speak to this.
Okay, so this is actually a proposed application for, it's an overage on the Markham Phase 2 project. And I believe the details are in the resolution there. The application, it'll be an 80-20 match, 80 grant, 20 city portion. And it would be for, just for projected overages on the Markham Phase 2 project.
I make a motion for adoption of the resolution.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this resolution. Any further discussion? Mr. Garrett.
Resolution R-2227. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Passes 6-0. And while we got Robbie up there, the next one's a resolution to approve the submittal of the Federal Aid Service Transportation Block Grant Program for College Avenue Bridge over Kinley Trail and Tucker Creek.
Okay, so this application is for the design portion of a proposed project that would include it would be a replacement of the bridge structure on College over Tucker Creek and Kinley. Well, it would incorporate a grade separated crossing for Kinley Trail, similar to what we're doing with the Salem Bridge project. And this would be for the design portion only. It's an 80-20 match again, with the 20% being the city match. And then the idea is in the future, on the next cycle, we would apply for a construction grant for this project.
Make a motion for the adoption of the resolution.
Second.
Number 28.
I
Second.
have a motion and a second to approve this resolution. Any further discussion? Mr. Garrett.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you.
If you were to ask Kurt or Jacob, what are they looking most forward to, they'd say June and dry weather.
Right,
I'm
especially
sure.
dry weather.
Yeah. All right, next up, we have an ordinance to approve the rezoning of 21.37 acres located east and north of 1200 Place of, I don't know why I wrote that in there anyway, of 1200 Place Apartments Phase 1 and 2 east of Covington Way from I-3 to MF3. Mr. Walden.
Yes, so this property, the property owner, it's just west of the existing apartments there that are there on Covington Way. They're wanting to do a new phase of that. So this is property that all exists west of the creek. It kind of provides a natural transition between the industrial that's on Sturgis Road and the transition of kind of commercial and multifamily uses that are west of there. Didn't have any public opposition to this. It was adopted 7-0 vote by the Planning Commission.
Make a motion, we waive the 3 readings.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to waive the 3 readings. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 6-0.
I make a motion for the adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance to rezone 21.37 acres from I-3 to MF3. Any further discussion? Mr. Garrett.
Speak ordinance 02254. Mr. Ledbetter?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Grimes?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Isby?
Yes.
Passes 6-0. Next up is consideration to approve the modification of the conditional use permit number 1379 for property located at 2545 Prince Street. Mr. Walden.
This application, they made this at the request of staff. So the property just to the east, you recently reviewed a conditional use permit where hopefully new Don Pepe's location will be going with some retail and office in that location. On that property, one of the conditions that was included was a 30-foot vegetative buffer. On this property that's under consideration, after we talked to some of the adjacent property owners, they kind of like the idea of trading the brick wall inclusion that was a part of the conditional use originally and trading that for a wood fence and a 30-foot vegetative buffer as well. So it's not affecting or changing the use at all. It's just that the property is currently under development for a new drive-through coffee shop to go in there. And we thought while that's happening, let's just clean it up and make it consistent among those properties. So that's why it's being brought to you. It was 7-0 vote on it. There was no public opposition to it.
Make a motion to approve this conditional use permit.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve amending conditional use permit for property located at 2545 Prince. Any further discussion? Mr. Garrett.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Passes 6-0. Thank you, James. All right. Next up, we have the Public Safety Committee, and we have an ordinance appropriating and approving funds to purchase property located at 1108 Deer Street for Conway Police Department. As you know, that property appraised for $240,000. The Pierce family has agreed to the appraised price. So I think Chief Tapley's chomping at the bit for y'all to vote on this. So, but I'd like to tell Jamie, appreciate all the hard work you did and the Pierce family for working with us on this.
Absolutely. I gave up on it twice and Jamie just kept coming back. And so without her, there's no doubt we would not be standing here tonight.
So the Pierce Heating Air has been a staple in Conway for a long time, done a tremendous amount of business in Conway, and I hope they enjoy their retirement. They've done well and been good neighbors in Conway.
I make a motion to waive 3 readings.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to waive the 3 readings. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 6-0.
Make a motion for adoption of the ordinance and the emergency clause.
I would second that with the addition of making the change from the 250 to the 240 on
Yes,
that ordinance.
I'm sorry, I was supposed to point that
Okay,
out.
excuse me. Thank you, Sharon. for
No
bringing that up.
problem.
I'll be in trouble with Shawan and Felicia for that. I was told. Thank you, Ms. Isby.
No problem.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance with the emergency clause. Any further discussion? Mr. Garrett.
Speak ordinance 02255. Mr. Ledbetter? Yes. Mr. Grimes?
Aye.
Ms. Isby?
Yes.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Emergency clause, Mr. Ledbetter?
Yes.
Mr. Grimes?
Aye.
Ms. Isby?
Yes.
Ms. Tucker? Yes. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
All right, passes, both of those pass 6-0. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you all.
Thank y'all.
And finally, we have consideration to change our city council meeting schedule for the months of June, July, and August. If we did this, we would meet June 28th, July 26th, and July 23rd. We go to the fourth Tuesday of each month and drop out the second Tuesday. It's up to you guys.
I moved.
Wait, I
Second.
got something to do on the floor too. Can I have?
Yes, what's your
Just 'cause
question?
you leaving, you just got the floor. Can we just talk about this a
Okay,
minute?
so you want me the second
No, I just
Tuesday?
want to see your face just red for one more time.
Be quiet.
Okay, I know we had a motion. Do we have a second?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to meet only once in the month of June, July, and August, the fourth Tuesday of each month. Any further discussion? Mr. Garrett,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
passes 6-0. Council, that's all we have tonight.
Motion for adjournment.
Second?
I got
Where's-
a
where-
quick question. We're gonna get the soccer team in too, aren't we?
We're gonna try to. Yeah, Bobby,
School's out.
will you make contact with soccer team tomorrow and see if we can get them in here? They did Conway proud too. All right, we're adjourned, everybody. Thank you all.